Anytime you post the word wedding, some type of invisible call goes out to the internet commenters, and then within minutes, you have somebody saying, "Oh my God, I would never spend that much on a wedding." Off! Spending money on a wedding was one of the best things my wife and I ever did. My name is Ramit Sethi. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Money for Couples, and here are my ultimate money rules. Okay, here's my first rule. Shared accounts. This is very important. If you're in a relationship and I asked you, do you think you should live together? You'd be like, yeah, we're married. What are you talking about? And yet so many of us in a relationship have our money separate or half connected. We have an orphan 401k here. We have our own checking account, but then we send money here and then we Venmo it back. Stop doing all this. If your future is together, then your accounts should also be together. And let me tell you how to do it because there are some wrinkles. The simplest way to set your accounts up together is to have a joint checking account. The money flows here, and then each of you has your own individual, no questions asked account. Your partner knows about the account, but they don't even have access to it. It is yours. So if you want to spend that on trips, you want to spend that on self-care, you want to spend that on money for your family, that's totally up to you. It is no questions asked, guilt-free spending money. You might be wondering how much money goes in the joint account versus the individual no questions asked accounts. That does depend on your incomes, and if there's a major income disparity, that can affect things. For example, if someone is making 3 times what the other partner is making, they may want to split it proportionally and take a little bit more in their individual account. But remember this, the philosophy which shapes all of your financial decisions is our future is together. That means there should probably be more money in the joint guilt-free spending area than the individual guilt-free spending areas. Here's my second rule. If you want to have a big wedding and you can afford it and you love it, you should do it. This is the first major project that the two of you are gonna do together. And by the way, if you think a guy who looks like me is gonna come on here and tell you, oh, you should have a small wedding because weddings are so wasteful, you got another thing coming. I love a big wedding. I knew I was gonna have a big wedding from when I was a teenager, so I started saving for a wedding in my early 20s, before I even met my wife.
Wait, did I read that you did overspend on your wedding?
Of course I did. Everyone overspends on their wedding, including me. Here's the phrase I want you to remember. Spend extravagantly on the things you love, as long as you cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't. My third rule, you should know your money type. Your money type tells you so much about your relationship with money. And if you've ever wondered, why do I do this thing with money? Why do I avoid money or worry about it? Your money type will help you understand yourself and your partner. There are 4 money types. The first one is the avoider. They do anything they can, conscious and unconscious, to avoid talking about money. If you have a partner, for example, who avoids money, you probably find yourself chasing after them. And the more you chase, the more they avoid, which is a really negative dynamic to be embedded in. The next money type is the worrier. They worry about money. That's all they know. It doesn't matter how much money they have. In fact, many times they don't even know how much money they actually have. You will find that worriers typically grew up with parents who also worried about money. Many of these money types are passed down generation to generation. Next, you have the optimizer. An optimizer loves a good spreadsheet. Now, I have to admit, I am a reformed optimizer. It can be good. You like to plan, you like to run calculations, but the problem is you take it too far and you become dreadfully boring and dreadfully cheap. No rich life is lived inside of a spreadsheet, and optimizers have to realize that they have to turn the page on their life and get outside the spreadsheet. And finally, the dreamer. The dreamer believes that success is around the next corner, the next gig, the next deal. They typically fall for scams and schemes. They typically get involved in things like multi-level marketing. They're definitely not watching this video. If you're a dreamer, you're not watching this video. We all know it. Very difficult to be the partner of a dreamer because they often live in a la-la land that only they can live in because they are subsidized by somebody else, parents, a partner, etc. If they actually had to face real responsibilities, many of these delusions would disappear overnight because they have to. And if you learn your money type, the good news is you can change it. You can start to understand why you do the things you do with money, and you can decide what type of healthier relationship you want to have with your finances. The next rule is to have regular, positive, proactive conversations about money. That means you have an annual Rich Life review where you both sit down, you talk about what went well this year, what do we want to change, where do we want to spend more and less, and then you both talk about money once a month on your monthly money reviews. In your monthly money meeting, you might be surprised, but the first thing you start with is a compliment. Hey babe, I love that every time we travel, you always get us to the airport on time. Thank you. Then each partner does an update. Here's the numbers that I own. Here's where we are on grocery spending this month, etc. Here's where we are on our savings goals. Great. You take a look at any joint numbers that you want to sync up on. And then you talk about any issues coming up. Hey, I think we might need to get the car fixed in August, etc. And finally, when are we meeting again? And I love you. End with a big hug, a big kiss, and wrap it up. Notice, it's fun, it's light. You've done pre-work ahead of time. You're not sitting there going, you suck. This credit card debt is unacceptable. We're also not talking about the price of freaking turnips. You're not in the weeds. You're talking about the high level, the important stuff. And the most important of all, I love you. Let's do this again next month. Thank you. Another rule that's important is you have to learn the language of money. Compound returns. You have to learn about asset allocation. You have to learn the difference between a savings and an investing account. Now, this stuff is not hard. It's been overcomplicated by Wall Street, but Wall Street. They're there to sell AUM fees to you. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about simple phrases, understanding the basic language of money. You want to hear some shocking numbers? When I talk to couples, 50% of them do not know their household income. That's not a typo. 50 do not know their household income. 90% of couples in debt do not know how much debt they owe. And 95% of couples in debt do not know the exact month and year their debt will be paid off. That's not acceptable. My next rule is know what your vision of a rich life is. It could be as big as we want to travel 2 months a year, or it could be as small as we want to get an extra iPhone charger so we don't have to walk to the bedroom and back to the kitchen every single day. It's important to have a shared vision, one that the two of you have come up with, because that eliminates so many common money problems. Money's important. It is one of those things that will affect every part of your life every day forever. Take money seriously. Talk about it. Discuss it. Come up with a shared vision together. Even if you disagree, work through it, because money will affect you for the rest of your lives.